Good morning, everyone. My name is Constable Danny McKinnon with the Winnipeg Police Public Information Office. Thank you for joining us this morning as we discuss the details of an investigation called Project Quarry, a multi-agency investigation involving drugs and firearms trafficking. Before we get to that, I will read our land acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. And to present the results of this investigation, Project Quarry, we have Inspector Josh Awatsky, Winnipeg Police Service Organized Crime Division, as well as Superintendent Jeff Admonson from the Manitoba Integrated Law Enforcement Team with the Manitoba RCMP. Sir?
Morning. In November of 2024, Winnipeg Police Services Drug Enforcement Unit and Firearms Investigative Enforcement Unit, in partnership with the RCMP Manitoba Integrated Law Enforcement Team, launched Project Quarry, an investigation into a sophisticated criminal network involved in trafficking cocaine and firearms throughout Manitoba. Between March 17th and 19th of 2025, with the assistance of the Winnipeg Police Tactical Support Team and the RCMP's Emergency Response Team, officers executed search warrants on residences and vehicles in the following locations: 3rd Avenue and Oak Drive, Stonewall, Manitoba; 2 addresses in the RM of Rockwood, Manitoba; the 100 block of Strauss Drive in Winnipeg; and the 100 block of Somerville Avenue in Winnipeg. As a result, 5 people were arrested and charged with 53 offenses related to drug trafficking and firearms trafficking. Those people are Brian Michael Gladue, 36 years, of Stonewall, Manitoba, who has also been identified as the leader of a Winnipeg-based street gang; Corey Hopcraft, 47 years, of Stonewall, Manitoba; Chad Line, 48 years, of Rockwood, Manitoba; Crystal Leona Strojek, 46 years, of Winnipeg; and Michelle Precious Grozel, 23 years, of Winnipeg. Everyone was detained in custody at the time of their arrests. From the search warrants, police seized 35 firearms and a large amount of ammunition, as well as illegal accessories such as silencers and auto-sears, which are devices that can convert a semi-automatic handgun to fire fully automatic. Some of the guns had been reported stolen, and others were smuggled into Canada from the US. $60,000 worth of cocaine and hydromorphone, an opioid drug, were seized, as well as $1,500 in cash, along with drug packaging and trafficking materials. This joint force operation was made possible through the collaboration of our policing partners, with support from Canada Border Services Agency, Manitoba Justice, and the Manitoba Criminal Intelligence Center. It's a clear example of strong regional partnerships working together to keep our community safe. This investigation is ongoing, and if anyone has any information, we encourage them to contact the Winnipeg Police Services Drug Enforcement Unit at 98204-986-7003, or the Stonewall RCMP at 204-467-5015, or they can call anonymously by calling Crime Stoppers at 204-786-TIPS, or through the website winnipegcrimestoppers.org. And with that, I'll take any questions.
So $60,000 worth of cocaine. How much is that in kilograms?
It's roughly a kilogram of cocaine.
And then the rest in?
Yeah.
Do you know how much hydromorphone, roughly?
I don't have the number on me right now.
In terms of the 5 people that were arrested, were they known to police before?
Yes, all of them were.
You mentioned Gladue was the head of a gang. Is that the same as the network of traffickers mentioned in the beginning?
No, the network of traffickers are not necessarily part of the street gang. However, they do the actions and the activities they're involved in ultimately did support that street gang.
And what's the name of the gang?
I don't want to give the name of the gang and give them any credit. I think the fact of the matter is that we have someone who's not only involved in a street gang, but is leading that street gang, involved in trafficking numerous firearms, likely more than just the ones that we see here, and as well as stockpiling an arsenal that that gang and other people involved in criminal activities could have access to.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I have, unfortunately. This is not, new for an investigation for Winnipeg Police or the RCMP, but it's always concerning when we see this many firearms, especially in one location that are easily accessible by people involved with gangs.
Do you believe they were predominantly firearms traffickers or cocaine trafficking? Do you know what I mean?
Both.
Both? Yes. In terms of firearms trafficking, I mean, is this being sold to people they have a trusted relationship with in the criminal element, or is it online? What does that look like, firearm trafficking?
When they traffic firearms, it's all of the above. It's people who are looking to find illegal firearms will eventually find out who they can purchase those off of, and we'll make arrangements to do so. So it's not only trusted friends. It's other associates. It's people who know other people. So,
But largely done on the street, for lack of a better word, or are they selling these online too?
some are sold online. I don't believe these ones are sold online, but we have seen many firearms sold online through social media accounts.
How was the network operating between Stonewall and Winnipeg? What was the
Well, it would be through Brian Gladue predominantly. He was the leader of the street gang and living in Stonewall, Manitoba.
And was one of the arrest warrants executed at his residence?
Yes.
So you said, do you have a breakdown of, do you have an idea of stolen versus smuggled here in that 30?
The majority of them were smuggled. I don't have an exact number of stolen right now, but several of them were stolen.
Is that smuggled from the States largely, as far as you know?
They're all from the US, yeah.
I mean, and given clearly they're being used illegally, but do any of the people arrested here have a firearms license, or are these entirely illegal?
These are all illegal firearms.
Of course. But do any of them have a license of any?
I don't believe any of them possessed any firearms licenses.
So, and this is, why is it called Project Quarry? Is it because it's partially operating in Stonewall and Rockwood, where there's
Yes.
a lot of quarries?
Yes.
Yeah. He has perhaps a lot of standing, but you just want to get a breakdown of the charges for these folks. When were the arrests made? Around the same time as the warrants back in March?
When the warrants were executed.
I mean, we're talking about 30 firearms that were, in criminal hands here. How important is it to you that these guns are now off the streets, not being able to be sold to whoever might buy them,
It's extremely important to both Winnipeg Police and the RCMP. We don't want these firearms on the streets and in the hands of people who are going to use them not only against their rivals, but what we always see happens is somebody who's innocent gets caught in a crossfire. This is a huge, huge public safety issue that someone is able to stockpile this many firearms. And I think it's a relief to everyone that we have these ones off the street. However, we know that there are many more out there, and we're trying to do our best to get as many guns off the street as we can.
Is this the first time he's been charged?
No.
In November of last year, there was a death reported in Stonewall. Human remains were found in a home there in November. Is that really connected at all?
I'm not aware of any connection.
You said that they're missing, well, maybe basically the investigation is ongoing. I'm curious what components or pieces of information is still being sought.
Well, I don't want to get into the details of that as it's an ongoing investigation. And also this is before the courts as well. So I have to limit to exactly what I say, but I can just say that we're continuing on with the investigation and anyone else who is involved.
Could be that there are more arrests to be made.
It's possible, yes.
The stolen firearms, were they, as far as you know, stolen in Manitoba or elsewhere in Canada?
Some were stolen in the States and then smuggled through the border. I'm not sure if any of them were stolen in Winnipeg or Canada.
So it said this network is operating throughout Manitoba. I mean, we're talking largely southern Manitoba to the north too. I mean, do you have an idea of how wide it was operating here in the province?
Predominantly in the Winnipeg, Stonewall, Rockwood area. We're looking to see if there was any trafficking going beyond that area. It's very possible.
And this may be more of a CBSA question, but I mean, big picture, I mean, how are guns smuggled across the border? Is it as simple as just hiding it in the vehicle and bringing it across kind of thing, or?
There are many ways that they can smuggle them across. That's one of them. But there's several different ways that firearms can be smuggled either across the border, through mail, ways like that.
You're working with law enforcement down in the States to kind of ascertain where this network is working with people down there to get these guns up here?
Yes, we've been in contact with U.S. police.
Can you give us an idea of the scope of this trafficking network and also an idea of how big this gang that led you with the leader?
With street gangs, their numbers fluctuate with their allegiances. We see them flipping from one gang to another, so it's hard to get an accurate number of how many are in one gang. There are many people either in the gang or associated to the gang. So it's not just gang members who are committing offenses for the gang, it's associates as well. So I can tell you that it's located in the city, and they do spread out to other parts of the province as well.
The arrests were made months ago. I'm curious why it's being reported now to me.
We were involved with some other investigations at the time.
And then there's been a renewed interest with the U.S. border and border security in recent months. How concerned is law enforcement with the smuggling, and how would it be addressed?
We're always concerned with the smuggling, and we are in contact with the U.S., the consulate, as well as police agencies, both federal and municipal, in the U.S. And we have a pretty good relationship with them and constant dialogue about trafficking. And they're as concerned about it as we are.
Has there been a decrease since the new border enforcement measures were brought in recent months in smuggling?
Not that I'm aware of. Into Canada, no.
No, yeah.
In terms of smuggling, I mean, do you have an idea at this point where in the States these guns are coming from? Border states?
That's still part of our investigation, so I don't want to comment on that at this time.
Any follow-up questions? Thank you for coming. If you'd like to take any photographs, please make your way up. I'm gonna stop it.